Hey guys, and welcome back to the Mutual Friends podcast. How are we doing? How are we feeling? I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good going into this solo episode. And I don't know if you guys know this. I think you do because I can't keep my mouth shut. I like solo episodes, kind of where I feel the most, I'd say, insecure, feel the most like not confident going into a podcast. Podcasting, what's the quote from Ken? It's like, doing beach is not easy, or and then Barbie goes like, "You're very brave, Ken." Anyway, if you know like the quote I'm talking about, podcasting not as easy as it looks. And solo episodes are definitely where like I feel my most like a little bit scared. I want you to have a great experience, and which is why I love bringing on co-hosts. I have 100% thought about having like a permanent co-host. I just never really knew who it would be, and we're 3 years in, and it's always just been me, and then our amazing guests. So, but I'm feeling really good. I feel like I have so much to tell you, and with like honestly, what's kind of gotten me into the mood is YouTube. I started watching YouTube again. And I don't know, it just like ignited this like creative light in me. I don't know how many of you are also YouTube kids. You're raised by YouTube. I was absolutely a YouTube kid. I'm really excited that I'm starting to become like, I think I can confidently say I'm a YouTuber. With us, we pretty much have like the podcast, and then we've got my YouTube shorts, which that's what's really grown my channel. I want to do a lot more long form. Of course, I've got my project that I haven't really talked to you guys about. That's going to be a long time in the making, but with that relates to like daily vlogging. But I also I have a long form YouTube video. Like I'm pretty sure it's all the way edited, and I just haven't put it up. So I really want to get more into YouTube, but like watching vlogs, I was watching Aspen Ovard, who I've been watching since I think I was 14 or something. And like, it's so refreshing, and it makes me remember what it is like to, like, I feel much more, I think I'm more comfortable like talking about things on like a TikTok video right now than I am like this type of camera, but it's all practice. And honestly, I have like so much to tell you. First of all, I got help for the podcast, which I'm so excited about. This episode that you're watching right now is going to be, I think, the last one edited by me. We have a new editor coming in, and I'm sure she's a frick ton better than I am. So that's amazing. We're getting a social media manager in, because I need some help. So I'm so excited. Like the fact that I'm actually, like, I did interviews for these positions, and I feel like that's like such a big girl thing to do. We're like just moving up in the world. It's so exciting. What else? I'm partnering with my first big clothing brand. I've got a couple clothing things in, collaborations or like ambassadorships, I guess you could say. Nothing yet that is a like pay for post type of thing, which to me is like the next level. I really want to up level my fashion part of my content. Like I really love clothes, and so I've been really diving deep into my fashion style and everything, and I'm working with my friend who's sort of acting as my stylist, and we have this new project that I called the New Sarah Era. That's going to be warming up in these next couple weeks. So I have a new Pinterest board. I'm pretty sure it's public too, and so if you want to go look at it, it's called the New Sarah Era. I love Pinterest. I'm on Pinterest a lot. But the New Sarah Era is like, if you look at the Pinterest board, I think you're going to be like, Sarah, this is what you always have been. But really, it's like taking what my style currently is and just like elevating it a little bit. And so I'm really excited for that. And so with this new clothing partnership, that I hope to be a very long time, essentially, like I get to do my first clothing order with them. So I'm really curating the pieces that I want. Like I've never really gone into a fashion type project like this. Like I've really never looked at clothes as like strategically as I am now. Obviously right now I'm wearing like jeans and a sweatshirt, and I will always be a jeans and t-shirt kind of girl. And like this new like Sarah era is essentially me taking the jeans and t-shirt and like, what does that look like in an elevated form? This is also so heavily influenced by me going to New York so often. Like I love the fashion of New York. I'm not a New York girl though. And so I have this like weird blended mix because I don't think that I have a particularly like Southern Belle type of style, but I do have this Western element. I think when we were like typing in inspo, it was like Western girl chic or something like that. Like it's very, I think there's elements of like tomboy things that I pull in. There's elements of like definitely Western. Everything is just trying to be elevated, a little bit more chic. So not just like shorts, t-shirt, and like cowgirl boots. Like that's a little too on the nose. Like how can we play with different silhouettes? Like the fact that I am even like saying the words like play with a different silhouette, it's such a cool creative challenge for me. And yeah, I'm really excited about it. And so I'm going to be able to make this first order, and I've got another brand that I'm partnering with, and it's so exciting. This is like each of my platforms, I feel I have so much more confidence in than I used to. TikTok, of course, has always sort of been my backbone, and that is definitely, I mean, if you look at my following, like you will see like the vast difference. That particular difference, that's a little bit of a point of contention. Like the fact that I reached 11,000 on TikTok or on Instagram, which I'm like, oh my God, it took forever to get, not forever, it took a week, but from like, we were going like up 100 every day, and then like it took a lot, like, I don't know what it was like crawling along to get to 11,000 from 10.9. But I was like, oh my God, I have 11,000 on Instagram. And like my TikTok, we are pushing 660,000. I'm like, what is happening? Like it's to me as an influencer, I'm like, this is so embarrassing. Like the fact I can't get my Instagram up, but honestly, but that's such a new creative challenge for me. So like even the new like fashion project that I'm working on is also like for me helping me push into the Instagram space. I think I will always be a video first kind of person, but photography and posing and modeling and like styling clothes, it's all a piece of my creativity that I think I just have not pushed. And I know I have the interest in. I think that I have skill in it. I just really haven't pushed myself there. So yeah, I'm very excited for that. That's just a sort of look in the world of like the creativity. I've really been spending a lot of time on Pinterest, and I think that Pinterest will always be the more, I guess, mentally healthy platform. I don't think I've ever gone to Pinterest and felt ill. I love it, and I think that it's so cool to like go through Pinterest and like curate these boards. It really itches, I guess, a piece of my brain. Unfortunately, it gives me like, I feel like I could call it creative anxiety. Does anybody else also experience creative anxiety where it's different from a creative block, which I think a creative block is way worse, but creative anxiety is where you have so much of this pent up energy and you're like not sure where to put it. Like you are like, I could literally build a house right now. I could curate a fashion line, or I could paint a mural, but it's like 11 p.m. and you're like in bed, but you're feeling like you could like run a marathon creatively. That is what I've had a lot of that lately, and it's hard because sometimes it actually turns into like creative anxiety will then hop into normal anxiety or like general anxiety for me, which will then go into spiraling that I'm not doing enough and that I need to be creating more and I'm lazy. And then, of course, creativity is linked to my job. So then I'm like, I'm going to have no job. I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. And then it really just into this mess on the floor. And then, so that's literally, does anybody else have that? Is that just me? let me know. Oh, anyway, it has been so nice to have so many creative projects going on, and I'm really enjoying it. And even though it's a little busy, I'm like a little overwhelmed by now, but I also feel that I work almost best in a place of well, hold on. If Joseph were listening right now, if he's listening to this podcast, he's like, no, you don't. I do work well with multiple things going on. I don't work well in a place of overwhelm. That's when I tend to crash. But those lines are so fine, you know? Final thing before we go into the group chat, we've got a couple news stories. I feel like news has both been like, there's not a ton of interesting things going on, but we've got a couple stories, some celebrity drama, and then I'd say some like major pop culture news. But one last thing is I was on the Real podcast. It released this past week, I believe the week before you're listening to this. Oh my God, I loved this interview. I actually went back and listened to the whole podcast myself. This is when I was with Natalie Barbu in New York, and we filmed in studio, which was amazing. I literally loved doing that. And it was such a great podcast. And I think that for those listening, we did go in. Part of me almost wants to bring somebody in to do that type of interview with me, but on my own podcast. I think that could be fun because I'm prompted with questions from another person that then I don't address on this podcast all the time. Like I address a lot, but there's just some things that people ask that, or like, that a co-host or like interviewer would ask that I don't think to mention. So I think that's fun because we went into some topics that I have not talked about. I think you should definitely go take a listen. So the Real, it's REAL and then REEL, the Real with Natalie Barbu. She's amazing. I think they're going to go through a rebrand soon, but she's not changing the name. So anyway, if you have not checked that out, please go check that out. We did have an episode with Natalie go up, I believe, 2 episodes ago for us, something like that. I think it's like episode 154, maybe, something like that. And it was such a good episode. But anyway, all right, let's get into the group chat. So I'm gonna do like the stories in my interest order of least to greatest. So first one, Ashton Kutcher is stepping down as chairman of the board at Thorn, the anti-child sex abuse prevention organization he founded with his then wife Demi Moore back in 2009. Mila Kunis, his now wife, previously sat on the organization's board as an observer, is also resigning. If you are not here's the thing, this is like major news and I think it's like a PR absolute disaster. I don't want to harp on this story a lot because it's around a sensitive topic, but I'll give you the gist. I'll give you the gist also without saying the triggering word of a horrible thing that can be done to somebody. It is often women, and that this man, which we'll get into, is being convicted of. It starts with an R. I hate that word for obvious reasons. I'm really, I don't watch shows that deal with that, and I know that there's a lot of, shows that will have that, or in books or something. It's a very real issue, obviously. I hate that word. I hate saying that word. I even thought about pulling the story purely so I didn't have to go into this type of monologue here, but I'm not going to say the word. I hate the word, and I hate saying the word especially, so I'm not going to go with the word, but I think that you can know what I mean. This story won't last very long. But essentially, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis wrote character letters. So I'll go into this. The move was announced after receiving criticism concerning their letters of support for Danny Masterson, who's convicted of Earle-ing 2 women. There were, to my understanding, 3 women that, convictions that were up for trial or whatever, and 2 of them he did get convicted of. I think the 3rd one is up in the air. Kutcher wrote here's what makes it worse. So these letters went out from that they were published from Mila and Ashton that they wrote letters of support for Danny with this trial. couple things to note here. Danny's family asked them to write letters, and in their apology video, which wasn't really an apology video, it was kind of more an explanation video. They were saying that they wrote letters based on the character of the person that they knew back, when they filmed, and the Danny that they knew. I have to believe that they did not believe these letters would get out, and I'm literally not going to say I understand, but I'm sure it is a hard position when you're put into a corner where you're one of, a friend of yours that you would assume they would not affiliate with somebody that they thought were capable of these acts. Their family asks you to write a letter because they are trying to prove this person innocent, even though it's been proven like he is very much not innocent. This has also churned up things from Ashton Kutcher's past and that 70s show, and some of the questionable interviews that because Mila was on the show when she was like 14. Her first kiss with Ashton he was 19. There's a lot that goes into this. But the cherry on top is that Ashton and Mila have this organization, specifically Ashton, I guess Mila was on the board, that is anti-child sex abuse. Is the anti-child sex abuse prevention organization. I feel like that was a poorly worded way. This is also from popculture.com, by the way. They literally are advocates against sexual abuse, and then they wrote these letters. Questionable behavior. There's also some rumors, because I guess Danny Masterson is related to Scientology. He is a Scientologist. Whatever the Church of Scientology, there are some rumors that people think that they were not scammed, blackmailed. I think that's a little bit of a stretch, but when you watch the video, it does give hostage behavior. I truly think it was just a poorly made video, but so Kutcher wrote, "Victims of sexual abuse have been historically silenced, and the character statement I submitted is yet another painful instance of questioning victims who are brave enough to share their experiences." Okay, owning up to it. Kutcher wrote to Thorne's board on September 14th in an exclusive letter shared with Time. "After my wife and I spent several days of listening, personal reflection, learning, and conversations with survivors and the employees and leadership at Thorne, I've determined the responsible thing for me to do is resign as chairman of the board, effective immediately." Kutcher wrote, "I cannot allow my error in judgment to distract from our efforts and the children that we serve." What else are you going to do? Like, seriously, you're going to stay on the board after that? Yeah, I'm not going to spend more time on this. Such a confusing thought process decision on their part. But yeah, just sick. This Danny Masterson is a sick human being. I really like Ashton and Mila, to be honest. I don't think they've really had much backlash or been in like a poor light. And so I think, this is certainly new for them, based on that video. These apology videos are getting out of control, though. I feel like we went from the ukulele, and then everybody's apology videos just went downhill from there. Anyway, next story. Drew Barrymore is offering up another apology. Okay, is offering up another emotional apology to the Writers Guild of America after facing backlash for her decision to return to her daytime talk show amid the WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes. Okay, here's the thing. Drew Barrymore, I saw that she was, she's under fire, and I'm like, I don't know. Drew doesn't do much wrong. Kind of love that woman. And I think there's so much more to this story. So the Drew Barrymore show host took to Instagram Friday with a tearful video in which we know Drew cries, in which she said she wanted to take full responsibility for her actions and explained her reasoning for moving forward with the show. So again, if you're not familiar with what she's apologizing for, the Drew Barrymore show is going back. It's airing again without writers. So it is a talk show, so some may think that doesn't require writers. It absolutely does. I'm sure there's a lot that is ad-libbed or whatever on it, but that writers are still very important to these types of shows, and they're moving forward without writers. I first heard that, I was like, what the fuck? That is really messed up. But let's hear it, and then let's see what you think. I believe Barrymore said, "I believe there's nothing I can do or say in this moment to make it okay," a choked up Barrymore said in her video. This is also from popculture.com, by the way. "I wanted to own a decision so that it wasn't a PR protected situation, and I would just take full responsibility for my actions." The actress continued, "I know there's nothing I can do that will make this okay to those that it is not okay with. I fully accept that. I fully understand that." That's an interesting statement. She said, "I know there is just nothing I can do that will make this okay to those that it is not okay with. I fully accept that. I fully understand that." That's also not really an apology. And I'm not sure she really needs to, I'm not sure she really needs to apologize, to be honest. And here's why. So Barrymore continued that there were so many reasons why the issue is complex and that she wants everyone to know her intentions have never been in a place to upset or hurt anymore. I'm assuming that means that's supposed to be anyone. I don't know. She continued, "It's not who I am. I've been through so many ups and downs in my life, and this is one of them." The never been kissed star, I don't know why they had to add that, added, "I deeply apologize to writers. I deeply apologize to unions. When it comes to the huge question of why we should do this," Barrymore explained, "well, I certainly couldn't have expected this kind of attention, and we aren't going to break rules, and we will be in compliance. I wanted to do this because, as I said, this is bigger than me, and there are other people's jobs on the line." This is why this is so, not straightforward. So they have their own separate agreement with SAG-AFTRA that allows Drew and other daytime hosts to continue hosting the show. So a spokesperson for CBS Media Ventures released a statement, blah, blah, blah. "While our show has been largely an unscripted talk show from the beginning, the new shows we are producing this season will be completely unscripted until the strike ends. No one on our staff will fill a writing position. If you watch the show, it is obvious that Drew has always brought raw, unfiltered, spontaneous, and open and honest conversations to her viewers, and that will continue. The show also moves forward with important consideration to our staff and crew, comprised of over 150 people, as well as our loyal viewers. We fully support Drew and her entire team 100%. This is the thing, when you're saying, okay, we're going to just, no writers on staff, just move forward without them, that kind of feels like they're just throwing this position away. It's clear, based on this, it sounds like they have intentions to bring the writers back after the strike. I don't blame her for keep going. They have 150 people on staff. Everybody who works in Hollywood right now, and I have family, I've got friends who are affected by this. It's the little guys that have them, this whole industry, from what I've seen personally, is so fickle, and most people are in more freelance positions, or it's a season on, a season off. When this show's not filming, this show's not taping, you don't have a job, these type of things. So, if they've got 150 people on staff, I think this is a responsible decision. These people need to put food on the table. These people need to work. This is obviously, her lives work. This is a show that has had a positive effect on, the TV watching community, those that are fans. I'm just you're not going to make people happy, but a lot of people are saying, this is crossing the picket line. This is crossing the picket line. This is taking a stand against the writers, saying that they don't need to be paid, they don't need them. I think, unfortunately, that's also true. Two things at once can be true. And this, I think it's a little hard, because I would hope that they have intentions to bring these writers back. But at the same time, you are showing that a show can go on and be successful without them. And not to say I don't want it to be successful, but it's certainly going to be different. And at the end of the day, all of this is business. So another teary-eyed apology from a celebrity. She's getting a lot of backlash. I think that if people were to read into it, I totally understand being a leader and you're wanting to provide for the people who work for you. I don't think that there was a good answer to this. I don't think there's much that she could have done. It's either everybody, is upset with you for crossing the picket line or going against the strikes, even though she's in compliance, logistically, or you have 150 people that are looking at you and they can't work and can't pay their bills, all that kind of stuff. To a certain extent, she chose going in the line of fire so that other people could have a job, which I kind of admire. What do you think? Let me know. Last thing, my most exciting, or the most exciting news to me, and a lot more lighthearted and fun, Alix Earle Hot Mess podcast was released under Alex Cooper's Unwell Network. So Alex Cooper released the Unwell Network with, it's Alix Earle and then Madeline Argy. I don't know how to say her name. Madeline Argy? I think it's Argy. First of all, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with Madeline. Madeline? I think it's Madeline. Obsessed with Madeline Argy. I think she is just so funny, so interesting. She took Emma Chamberlain's blueprint and ran. And I think that she is just doing amazing. I love that she's working with designers. I like that we're still leaning into like the relatable weird girl, but they're like kind of morphing into these like high fashion people. Like she's going to Chanel and like she's getting dressed by Dior and like all these type of things. She's at Fashion Week. Incredible. And then there's of course Alix Earle, who is also doing amazing. If you don't know who these two people are, just huge influencers that have, like, they're young, they're doing really well for themselves, and they're, from my perspective, like, as somebody who's very interested in this, I think each of their paths is very different, but they have this, like, relatable, very Gen Z forward, like, similarity in different ways. So Alix Earle, like the party girl or whatever, is kind of passing the torch. And Alex Cooper and the whole Unwell Network, like they are really leaning into this of Alix passing the torch to the other Alix, to Alix Earle, with this like hot mess podcast and having her be this new it girl in like sort of messy, wild living. I think Alix Earle is a lot less abrasive than Alex Cooper has been with Call Her Daddy in the past. And I think Alex Cooper is just getting to a place where, she's not doing like what she used to. She's leaned out of her like more raunchy or like abrasive content, is doing a lot more like high profile interviews. Anyway, this hot mess by Alix Earle, I think looks so fun. And this whole, I'm a little confused by the Unwell Network and what they're doing here. So it says a community for the unwell, home to Call Her Daddy, new shows and more. So of course, first new show that's got announced is Hot Mess. And Alix actually did a really good job. I thought this was interesting. She did, of course, a Get Ready With Me, and she talked about it a little bit. A lot of people were expecting a reality show from Alix called Earl's Girls, about her family. And she was like, as fun as a reality show would be, like I went into the social media spotlight. My family did not. And my siblings are really young. They need to grow up a little bit before they like get on camera. I think that was an absolutely smart and what a great decision, like for their family, not to just exploit things for money, even though they are lined up for the perfect like formula that the Kardashians started with to be reality stars. I think this is fun. At first I looked at like this hot mess, like if you look at the cover art and the fact that it's called Hot Mess, it's a little predictable to me. I still think it's a little predictable. I think that I think she's boxing herself a lot, and she's at a place where she could probably elevate that image a little bit more, like keeping one foot into this like hot mess thing, but one foot out. But it's cute. She said that she's going to be bringing on like really only close friends and family. So she's not going the interview route. She's, as of right now, not going to be bringing high profile people on. And they're doing it a little different. So she'll be, I think that she's going to be doing it in terms of like, you could go like on a day out with her. You might be like listening in on their debriefs in the morning after like a party night, like very in the life content. I think this is so fun. Several years ago, like I tried to do a podcast where you were like listening into our Squadmas vacation. It didn't work out very well. I'm sure that she's going to do an amazing job at it. I think this sounds so fun. I'm excited for everything that's going to come out of Unwell. I think that they need to really run while the wheels are hot. And I just made that up. Run while that didn't make any sense. Anyway, need to go while the sun's shining on them. Keep going. And I'm really excited to see where all this is going to go. This stuff fascinates me. I want to see the next moves for Madeline Argy. I really do. I think that she is just also both, like, everybody here obviously stunning, and I think especially Madeline is just like an exquisite looking creature, but she looks like a creature in the most beautiful way, a beautiful creature. I love her. All right, that was all for the group chat. Now we're going to get into the rest of the podcast. So this is already like a kind of long one, so I'm going to keep it a little bit shorter, because we had a little bit of updates. I just kind of wanted to chit chat with you guys, but since we're going into, I'm going to call it reading season. We are not to September 23rd, so it is not the end of summer, but more into reading season. I'm going to go through some of the books I've read this year and give some recommendations. This is going to all be in the romantasy type of genre. And if you, I swear to God, if you were listening to this, you're like, I don't do fantasy, shut up. Put your, do not turn off of this podcast right now, because I'm about to put you on something, okay? I was not a fantasy girly. I heard fantasy, I heard elves, I heard dwarves, I heard fairies. I said, no, wrong. It's purely a lack of education. And I mean that in the most, I mean that in the best way, of course, with all the love in my heart. I'm saying you don't know what you don't know, okay? So, and now I'm enlightened. My eyes have been opened. If you are into romance, if you're into drama, I don't care what you're into, you will like these, okay? They're literally the best books on earth. So just sit down and let me tell you what you should read to break your heart, break your life, and make you whole again, okay? So, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to talk about Sarah J. Maas. That was a lie. I'm going to start with Sarah J. Maas, but it's not as a recommendation. It's because I need to tell you guys that I lied on accident before this. So I'm not, okay, I promise I won't put like Sarah J. Maas in like the major recs, because you already know A Court of Thorns and Roses, Throne of Glass, and Crescent City. Those books are my entire life personality, the reason that I am here today. But here's the thing. I lied to you, and I didn't mean to lie to you. I accidentally lied to you. And here's what I lied about. So the Throne of Glass series, okay? There's a prequel called Assassin's Blade. I didn't read it. I hadn't read it. I wish I had started with Assassin's Blade. If you're going through these and you are about to start Throne of Glass, do Assassin's Blade first. It's the prequel. It is. I wish I would have read it first. I have literally like 5 pages left. So if you've read it, I've already been through. Oh my, I bawled my eyes out. Last night. My heart still hurts. Literally, I was crying in bed, and Joseph has already read it, so he like knew what was going on. He's like, "Are you okay?" And I was just like, "No." And then like, I was like, "My heart hurts." Like literally just bawling about it. It's so good. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I won't put that. It's not in the main recs, but like, yeah, I am unwell, and if you are going through, please start with Assassin's Blade. Now, once I finish these last 5 pages, I will have completely read all 3 series. I was a fraud before, and I didn't realize that, and I severely apologize. I also just want to go through all the series again, but especially Throne of Glass after this. God, that hurts so good. Okay, next one, Fourth Wing. We've talked about it. I know I've talked about it in another podcast. I'm going to keep talking about it. I'm going to keep really drilling this into your head. If you have not read Fourth Wing, I think Fourth Wing is a better gateway book to romantasy than A Court of Thorns and Roses, in my opinion. I think it's an easier read. It's also easier to swallow because we don't have the sequel out yet. The sequel comes out in November. It's easier to say yes to. Like, it's a one book wonder, and then we are so close that you can then be with us as we like go and we celebrate Iron Flame, which is coming out in November. I'm just saying, it is literally so good. It is so good. I'm also realizing that not all of these are romantasy, now that I'm thinking about it. Some of these are like just sort of dark romance that the same people who read the romantasy books are reading these books. Okay, first off, Kingdom of the Wicked. Kingdom of the Wicked is extremely good. It is extremely good. Those who are telling you to read like Cruel Prince and then go with that with Holly Black, don't do it. It's not, I mean, do it as a like, oh yeah, I've done it once type of thing, like an oyster shooter. I like oyster shooters, but it's one of those where maybe you do it once and you're like, okay, and like I did it, I get the appeal, but like I'm kind of out, like no, I don't want it. Cruel Prince, same thing. The Wicked King, same thing. Lost Sisters, same thing. Like just not, it's not good. But the Kingdom of the Wicked is so good. I'll give you the synopsis because I always give you guys recs and then I don't actually tell you what it's about. So I'm not going to. I'm going to let Goodreads do that. Also, Goodreads really needs to get up on their whole UI experience and just let Book Talk kind of lead their product development. Anyway, so two sisters, one brutal murder, a quest for vengeance that will unleash hell itself, an intoxicating romance. Amelia and her twin sister Vittoria are Streg, that's what I'm going to call them, witches who live secretly among humans, avoiding notice and persecution. One night, Victoria misses dinner service at the family's renowned Sicilian restaurant. Amelia soon finds the body of her beloved twin, desecrated beyond belief. This is sounding crazy. Just hold on. Devastated, Amelia sets out to find her sister's killer and to seek vengeance at any cost, even if it means using dark magic that's been long forbidden. When Amelia meets Wrath, one of the wicked princes of hell she has been warned against. Oh, wait. I read that really in a dumb way. Hold on. When Amelia meets Wrath, one of the wicked princes of hell she has been warned against and tales since she was a child. Oh my god, nope, that's not me. This sentence is just written poorly. Listen, she meets Wrath, who is a prince of hell, who, like her, like old grandmother has been like, hey, prince of hell, real bad, since he was a kid. That's what they're trying to say. Okay. Wrath claims to be on Amelia's side, tasked by his master with solving the series of women's murders on the island, but when it comes to the wicked, nothing is as it seems. I was like not really down in the beginning of this book because I was like, oh my god, I don't want a murder mystery. Like, yes you do. Yes you do. You just walk through the path. Let yourself go. I've learned to just let it go and get to at least the second book. I went through all three. Kingdom of the Wicked. It's Kingdom of the Wicked, Kingdom of the Cursed, Kingdom of the Feared. And I'm pretty sure that's the last one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I read them all. Literally so good. I like to give things in order. I think Kingdom of the Wicked should come after. I said I wasn't going to talk about Sarah J. Maas. You accept me and all of my flaws, so it's okay. That should come after Sarah J. Maas and after Fourth Wing. I'm just saying. I think that is like sort of a once you're already in it type of thing. Next, we're going to talk about the Devil's Night series. The Devil's Night series needs such a warning. I read the first Devil's Night and I was like, how many books so I read it and then I was like, I don't think I'm going to read that anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 books between Devil's Night 1 and 2. I had a lot to read. And I read Devil's Night 1 and I was reading this. I was like, there's no freaking way that I'm going to like the person that I know I'm supposed to like in this book. There's no way I'm going to be convinced that this is okay. No, you will. Devil's Night makes you question your morals, question you as a person. It is jam-packed. They took the jar and stuffed it, okay? They took this, if the book was a jar, they're just jam-packing it with sexual tension. Just all in it, okay? That's what the whole Devil's Night series is. But then, it's interesting because by the end of the whole series, but you are dragged through these people's, experiences and, questioning whether you are on their side or not. You're dragged through all of it. By the end, I think it is truly a beautiful story of friendship and chosen family. Which, if you are reading the first book, you're going to go back to this. You're going to be like, what the fuck is she talking about? Just let it happen. Let it happen. Okay? That's what I'm saying. Okay, last one. I don't know why I said all of these were romanticies. They're definitely not. It's just, I consider everything in the romantasy, genre, even if it's I don't know what this there's like this romantasy people, we bleed into like the Devil's Night thing, like type of genre. And then we're also starting to fall into this sports romance type of thing. The fantasy girlies are just, we're all just tipping into like this hockey type of romance for books, which is so, I was like, what the hell is this? But Mandy reads on TikTok and Instagram. She's now a personal friend, which I love to boast when I make internet friends, personal friends. I trust everything she says. And so she's been going into this like hockey book thing or was like a little bit ago. So I read Consider Me by Becca Mack. This is so cute. I have not read any of the other Playing for Keeps books. I stopped at this. This is book number 1. It's so cheesy, but so good. I loved reading this book. It is 100% like the, bad boy player gets like swooned by this girl who doesn't give a shit, and she is sweet, but she's reserved and doesn't want to get hurt again. And it's so cute. It's literally so good. Read Consider Me. It's, I guess, part of a series, the Playing for Keeps series. The ebook, it looks like, is 462 pages. I think it's a very easy read. And it's just like, if you are kind of in a like reading rut right now, you're not really sure what to read, you're broken by the Sarah J Maas books, you're like, I'm not ready to go into a romantasy right now because nothing's going to compare to that, and I totally understand. I've been there so many times. I get it. This is a good like just cozy up, like curl your toes, cute book. I love this. It's so cute. Consider Me, Becca Mack. I think I'm going to keep dipping like in and out of this like sports romance thing whenever I don't have like a soul crushing book to go through. Oh, wait. I have something to show you. Okay, I am pretty sure I'm allowed to talk about this. I'm going to check with legal because I had to sign an NDA. I'm pretty sure I'm just not allowed to talk about the plot. I'm finishing Assassin's Blade today, and then I'm going to this book because I was sent this book by the publisher. It's not out yet. It's out October 3rd. Do you realize that, like, how cool it is for me to have a publisher reach out to me and say, hey, do you want the advanced copy of this book? Of course I do. The Kingdom of the Wicked series that I just talked about. This is Throne of the Fallen. It says deception is the most wicked game of all. I truly can't, this is a Thickums. This is a Thickums book. I'm so excited. Wrath is such a phenomenal character, like male character in how he's written. I truly haven't dove into this at all. I'm not allowed to tell you what it's about, so I don't even think I can like give you the synopsis. I truly don't. I thought I wasn't allowed to post that I had this. I think this is something coming off of the Kingdom of the Wicked books. I'm pretty sure. But I thought I wasn't allowed to tell you I even had this. But then my other friend who was also on this list, she posted something about it on Instagram stories. I texted her. I was like, oh my God, like, we totally had to sign an NDA. Are we allowed to talk about it? She was like, yeah. We're allowed to post about it, but not about the plot. So I'm about to start this. I'm so excited. Throne of the Fallen, out October 3rd by Carrie Maniscalco. I don't know. I'm so excited. And Joseph is currently reading Kingdom of the Wicked. And so I'm like, he usually reads books after me. I'm kind of like his book recommender. And so I'm very excited because then I'll get to read this and like pass it off to him. But I was like, obviously excited for the book. I cannot believe that a publisher sent me a new book. Here's the thing. I need to be posting more about books because it's something you guys know that's so near and dear to me, and I really don't, I think, post enough about on my socials because then you get to do cool things like this. So I'm so excited. So thank you so much to the sweet woman that emailed me and said that she wanted to send me this because she was a fan and then she's part of the publisher. Anyways, okay, I think that's good. This felt like a cozy, fun, like, episode. I really loved it. I love you guys so much. I really, again, always, I'm going to ask for it again. Feedback. I love hearing what you guys are loving about the episodes. I love hearing, hey, like, this could be tweaked. Like, I really, really want that feedback moving forward. So, message me directly, message me through the Instagram, whichever is best for you. I'm absolutely happy to chat, and I will ask more questions. And I just love hearing what you guys think of the episodes, as well as guests that you would like to have on. Having a new editor and a social media manager coming on is going to be a game changer for me. And this is literally this is built for you. So you can put in, if you send me messages, we want this, we want new light here, you tell me what you want, and I will do it. I will do it for you. You know what I mean? Just honestly, get in my DMs. Let me know what you love about the podcast. Nicely let me know what could be improved, because this is very near and dear to my heart. But there's always room for improvement and always opportunities to do better. And if it means that you will enjoy this podcast more and it is built for you, then that's worth every penny and ounce of energy and blood, sweat, and tears that I have. I love you guys so much. If you enjoyed this episode, please share with a friend so we can have other friends on the Mutual Friends podcast. Instagram, TikTok, all the things. If you post about it, please tag us so that we can give you a shout out. And I love you guys so much it hurts. And if you read any of these books, please let me know. I love seeing people message me and they're like, I'm starting this book, or when they get to certain parts of books, it feeds my soul. You feed my soul. I love you so much, so much. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.